Welcome to Silent Conversations, real talk with a former death worker. I'm your host, Rochelle, and today I am joined by Peter Pratap Singh. And he's here to give us a different perspective, or his perspective and his experience dealing with grief and the loss of a child, as well as dealing with experienced death on the job and what it's like going through that process. So welcome, Peter.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for coming to speak with us today
Not a
and being my
problem.
little first guinea pig as we have these discussions. But either which way, let's go ahead and get started. Do you want to just tell people about yourself a little bit?
Sure.
How we know each other?
Okay. Well, first of all, I was born in St. Andrew, Jamaica.
Okay.
Came here when I was 11 years old, and worked a bunch of jobs. And I joined Brampton Transit in 2007, and that's where I met you.
Yes. Much
Right.
later, though. I didn't
Yeah,
start in
yeah,
2007.
yeah. But it's I've gone through a few. I had a few experiences with death.
Yes.
Right? No expert or anything, but that's basically it.
Okay. And because we're co-workers and we talk often,
Yes.
we often found that connection where we openly like to talk about death, dying, that whole topic. And we often sit down and have our little coffees in the mornings and we have the talk. So I thought it would be really interesting to have that conversation with you, especially since you've had some experiences, I guess you can say, that you can maybe lend your perspective to some people.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few. So that's what we're going to get in today. Just to start things up, just so kind of people can kind of see who you are when it comes to this topic. What comes to mind when you hear the word death?
Basically, non-existence, no more existence, right, on this plane.
So
Right?
they're just no longer
No, they're no longer here in the physical.
physical.
Yes.
And is it like they're just gone out of sight, out of mind for you?
If you hold somebody in your heart, they'll always be
They'll always
there.
be there.
Yes.
Yeah, I do believe that as well. So because we talked about how openly we both talk about death, how do you find it's the same relaxed conversations you have with your loved ones, or are they more like, I want to talk about it? Like, what's your perception? Like you said, you grew up in St. Andrews, Jamaica,
Yes.
right? And Caribbean people tend to not like to talk about these
I don't
topics.
have I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Now, probably before a little bit. Now I'm kind of just chill and
Yeah.
I'm good now.
So when you say before, I'm going to assume, because I know you,
Yeah.
certain things happened that maybe changed your perspective
True.
on talking about that topic. We'll talk about the incident that happened at work. Maybe
Okay.
let's start there,
Wanna
because I
start
think that
there?
was really important to what later down the line helped you kind of navigate certain things that happened.
Well, actually, it goes back way beyond that. But
Okay.
But you want me to start there, or do you want me to start with
Wherever
where-
you want to start.
Okay.
Let's
Well,
get to know
you know
Peter.
what? My first brush with death came when I was about 8 years old. I remember I was going down Mountain View Boulevard in St. Andrew with my mother. Traffic stopped, saw fire trucks, came out. We walked down through the crowd, and then I saw a lady lying on Mountain View Boulevard. She died in a car accident.
Yeah.
She was just sprawled out in the road.
Yeah.
It creeped me out for a little while,
Yeah.
seeing that, because that was my real first taste of an accident.
Yeah.
Somebody dying
And
in an
seeing
accident.
that.
That was 8 years old.
Yeah.
9 years old, I was with my dad going down Red Hills, and there was an accident, and there was a man covered up on the road. Right? These things at that early age tend to stick with you.
Yeah.
Actually, it stuck with me a lifetime.
And how did it what's the word I'm looking for? Like, how did that change, I guess, your perspective on how you deal with seeing someone who has passed, because you were exposed to it so young, and it's not like, oh, my grandmother died and I went to her funeral. You saw a tragic car accident and you see a body right there in front of you.
It just was with me. I could see it
Yeah.
every night. I it just kind of, I guess, grew out of it. But every once in a while, it pops back into my head, right? So it never really goes away, but it kind of diminishes.
Is it something that you were scared of? Did it
No,
give you fear? Did it?
no.
Was it like a reality check? Like, oh, we all got to go? I guess you wouldn't
I
think
didn't
that at 9
understand.
years. You
Not at,
didn't
no,
understand.
not yeah, I didn't understand.
At that age.
But when I was 10, my grandfather died. I was very, very close to him. That affected me.
Yeah.
And I went through a little bit of grief. I didn't know it was grief at the time, but, I went through a little bit of grief for a period of time.
And did you find that your family supported you through that? Because I know when kids are young and it might be a grandparent, they might be like, oh, it's just your grandfather died.
Yeah.
And then everyone kind of moved on. And they might concentrate on your mother or your father because that was their father. But kind of forget that you might have been affected by your grandfather's passing.
No, you see, at that time, in that time period, people don't understand.
Yeah.
Right? Grief. Oh, he's just a little pick-me.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't really have any kind of counseling or anything like that. I just kind of put it, I'm good at compartmentalizing things and I just put it off. But I think of my grandfather all the time. You think of your
Yeah. And with the job that we work at, people wouldn't think that we come across that type of topic like death in our job. We just drive a bus. We're both bus drivers. But I've often said we experience it on many different angles, right?
Right.
From maybe an accident where someone died because they hit our bus or the bus hit them or whatever it is. You hear all the salacious stories in the news, right? Or even as far as, for me personally, what I'll say is I often get reminded and my mind starts going when I'm driving my route and there may have been a car accident that happened, tragic, and I see it and it's like, oh my gosh, that person passed away. And then now the next day there's a memorial and that memorial's there every day. So I'm doing my route and I'm passing the memorial often. And then one day that memorial's gone because they have to remove it. And it's just like, oh my gosh, that's so final. Like, okay, now it's done. Like, it was sad that person passed and it was sad because they had the memorial and now it's gone. And it's like, are they just a distant memory? So I found myself thinking about death that way while I'm on the job. And then we have coworkers who we have lunch with every day, or we see every morning. Like I said, every morning at 7:00 I come in, we have our coffee. You come back at 7:30, we have our little chat, and it would be an awakening for me if one day you were not there, and it's because you passed away. What is your experiences, or how do you feel?
You know what? It does bother me at times when, especially with coworkers.
Yeah.
Because again, they're there one day and they're not.
And even though we don't like each other all the time, we're like a little family. We're like a family unit, right? It's the same people we see every single day. You know?
You don't want harm to come to them.
No, you don't.
But you know what? It's life. You go through. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Right. When your journey ends, it's over.
And how do you feel work supports us through that?
They have their peer support.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what it entails, right? I was offered it when I saw the young man die who came off my bus.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I was driving the Route 7 South at the steel stop.
In Brampton. Ontario, Canada.
Sorry.
That's okay.
And passengers came off. It was a red light. And a young man who came out the back doors walked up. Then he ran across the road to get to the other side. And
to try to catch a bus?
No, he was going to work. He worked at Home Depot.
Oh, he worked at, okay.
Right? And the bar between the windshield and the front window, the driver's window, blocked me from seeing him get struck by a dump truck.
Oh.
Right? And it hit him about 60 feet down the road, I found out afterwards. And I when I see people run across, I always look to the other side of the road to see if they made it. Didn't see him. So, I'm creeping forward on the bus, and the dump truck, again, it was red light.
Yeah.
I saw the driver's side front wheel kind of bump up a little bit, and I'm like, no. And then I saw the two back axles bump, and then he was lying in the road.
Yeah.
So I stopped my bus, secured my bus, ran out, rolled him over, and he started to breathe. And how graphic do you want me to get?
You can get as graphic as you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
his jeans were split from his left upper thigh down to his knee,
Yeah.
and there were bones all over the place,
Oh.
bone fragments. And I put my hand on his chest to just
See if he was
talk.
breathing.
See,
Talk to
well,
him,
he
comfort
started
him.
to breathe a little
Okay,
bit, and
yeah.
I was talking to him, and in about less than a minute, he died. Right, and I stood up, and the most eerie thing I remember is when I look over at my bus, which was one lane away, every passenger was standing on the bus, right, looking out. I asked one of the ladies who were there to call 911,
Yeah.
and she started screaming
Yeah.
because she couldn't touch the numbers on the phone because her hands were shaking.
Yeah.
So I called Transit, told them, because I knew they were going to shut the road down.
Yeah, they're gonna shut the road down.
And
yeah.
I got all my passengers off.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's amazing that in that situation, after seeing something like that, that you were able to keep calm and make. I mean, there's always procedures. You have to do this. But as the woman showed you, she couldn't dial 911 because she was panicking.
She was panicking.
Right. You had to take that moment to say, okay, let me be in control.
Yeah.
Let me see if he's okay, because that's hard.
Yeah.
Because obviously the person who's driving the dump truck is probably
stunned.
He took off with the dump truck.
He left. Yeah.
With the dump truck.
Yeah, they found him later on that day. Right.
Whose fault was it?
Okay.
Oh,
looking at the young man on the road,
yeah.
he had on a huge hoodie.
Yeah.
And he had huge headphones on.
Yeah.
So to me, in my opinion, he didn't see or hear anything.
Anything.
And he ran across the road.
Yeah.
Dump truck. When I got interviewed by the police, questioned by the police, the police officer asked me, "Do you think the dump truck knew that he hit him?" And being a truck driver myself, I said no.
He probably didn't.
Probably didn't know, but he knew he ran over something.
Yeah.
Right. And then he left. Everybody was honking, but unfortunately, it ended the life of that young man. At the time, I found out after he was 21 years old.
Oh, so young.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in that moment, after you made the calls, did you go back to work the next day?
Well, first of all, I was at the scene for about 3 hours until they shut it down, and the supervisor who was on the bus with me kept telling me to sit down, but I couldn't sit down. I kept looking at the scene because the guy's shoe was there and where they covered him up, and he goes, "Peter, sit down," right? And then later on again, he told Peter, "Sit down. They're filming you," because the CP24 and
right there,
they were there, right? And because we were almost at the intersection.
Yeah.
And the supervisor said, "I'm going to arrange for you to get back to the garage."
Yeah.
Right. And I'll drive the bus back. I said, "No, I took the bus out. I'm bringing it back in."
Really?
Right. And he didn't argue with me or whatever, but we debated. And I said, "No, I'm bringing my bus back in."
Mm-hmm.
And I did.
And why was that important for you to do that?
I finished what I started.
Finish what you started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And I did. He drove behind me. I went in the garage, and there were a couple of drivers waiting for me.
Because they heard.
Yeah. And Sean, senior supervisor Sean, he met me at the door, and we went into the first aid room across from the coordinator's office, and Peter Alder was there, and they go, "Can we get you anything?" I said, "I want a fucking drink." Right?
Yeah.
And anyway, so we took care of whatever business, and I went home.
Yeah.
Right?
And how much time did you take?
I was off for a week.
Only a week?
Yeah.
Why did you feel the need to come back sooner?
I don't know why. I just said, I think a week would be good, but thinking back now, wasn't nearly
enough. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Because I always hear about different drivers who are involved in accidents that caused the death of somebody.
Yeah.
And they're back at work the next day. And it's mind-boggling to me. And I guess work can't pressure you, but do you feel like they were just going through the precautions? Like, okay, Peter witnessed that. Protocol, yes. We have to offer these supports. If he denies it, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Or did you feel there was a human side
I was offered peer support, and I said no. I don't want to talk to anybody from here.
Yeah.
All right, and I was encouraged to call EAP,
Yeah.
and the senior supervisor was on my ass about that
Yeah.
over
EAP
and
is an
over.
employee assistance program.
Assistance program.
Yes.
And he was on me.
Yeah.
I said, fine, I'll do it. Right. I was pissed off
Yeah.
too. And I called and signed up for it, and it was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I did.
You glad you did?
Yeah.
Which will kind of lead us into the next thing
Mm-hmm.
that I really want to have your perspective on and talk to you about. You said it was a really good thing that you went through the EAP and got some support there, because through our many conversations, you said it helped you in the next phase of your life and
Correct.
something tragic that really happened.
Yes.
Right? So do you want to tell us a little bit about your son, Jamal?
Sure. Jamal, he born in 1995.
Yeah?
He was he was started out playing soccer.
Okay.
Right. Loves cars.
Mm-hmm.
And to my dismay, he started to play basketball because I'm a soccer player.
Yes.
Right. And Donna is my wife.
Yes.
She's a basketball player.
Basketball player. So he chose his mom's side.
Yeah. And I saw the talent at a really, really young age, the shooting talent.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in Mississauga.
Mm-hmm.
When we came to Brampton, he joined House League.
Yeah.
And
Brampton Warriors.
yeah. Then eventually, it was Blue Devils at the time,
Devils,
then
okay.
Warriors. And then he started playing rep.
Mm-hmm.
And we started traveling all over. And then I saw the talent.
Yeah.
Right. And he played high school ball, progressed, started playing ball in the States,
Mm-hmm.
got injured, came home, and then he went to University of New Brunswick.
Yes.
That was his final school.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think when he tore his knee out, and I think he got a bit depressed over it.
Yeah.
Donna had set it up for him to go see an orthopedic surgeon and get as much therapy, but he just didn't do it.
Yeah.
But when he went to New Brunswick, he even with his diminished movements because of the knee, he won Rookie of the Year for the Atlantic Division, made the All-Rookie team for the Atlantic, and he made the All-Rookie team for Canada.
That's good.
And he came home and quit school, quit ball.
Really?
Yeah. But, I was thinking back when he started New Brunswick, he called me about a week after he started, and he goes, Dad, I got an email from a coach in Barcelona, wants me to come out and try out for a team. And I said to him, you're a big man, you can do
Yeah.
whatever you want, but in my opinion, right, get your piece of paper.
Get your
diploma.
piece of paper. Yeah.
Get your piece of paper because nobody can take that away from you.
Exactly. Yes.
Right? And he said, okay. Right. So I thought he was going to go do it, but he never did.
He's like, nah,
He never did.
thanks, Dad, but no.
Yeah. But when
Yeah.
he was in the States, he had he progressed,
Yeah.
right? And his coach called me one night and said that if Jamal progresses the way he's going, and he gets into a good Division I university, and he had a few of them looking at him.
Yeah.
By year 3, it's a possibility to enter the NBA draft.
That's really
Right.
good. Yeah.
So, it just didn't materialize.
It didn't materialize. Yeah. And just to fast forward a little bit to the date November 27th,
Mm-hmm.
your life, I can say, changed completely
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Do you want to let us all know what happened that day?
Okay. Yeah. Well, Jamal, the day before, the 26th, he worked at Honda in Alliston.
Yes.
He left work. He was working the night shift. Left work, went down to Mississauga to visit a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And 7:00 the Saturday morning, he on the 27th, he was we were awakened just before 7 a.m., the doorbell just kept ringing and ringing. And Donna and I got up and got dressed and went out to the front. And as soon as we turned the corner towards the front door, I saw two officers standing on our front porch.
And what came to your mind when you saw that?
He was dead.
That's what you thought.
I know, that's what I knew.
You knew.
Yes.
And
he was dead.
what gave you that feeling? Like, how did you know it had anything to do with Jamal?
I don't know. I can't answer that, but it's just something.
A parental feeling, or just a feeling?
It's a feeling. I think it's more than a parental feeling, right? It's just because I've been around it so frequent.
Yes.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
With death throughout my life.
Throughout your life.
And I opened the front door, right? One of the officers, he's the one who spoke. The other one didn't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he could.
Yeah.
Right. But he goes, sorry for waking you so early in the morning. May we come in? So I looked at him and I said, well, I guess this isn't very good news.
Yeah.
And he said, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Right? And so, I let the man close the door. And I was about to tell him to sit down. And he goes, please have a seat. Okay. So Donna and I sat down on the couch. He sat down beside me and on the love seat. And he asked, is there a member of your family who drives a silver Honda Accord that's now burgundy?
Yeah.
I said, yes, our son Jamal.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He goes, does he have dreadlocks? I said, yes, he does. Right. He asked me a couple other questions I can't remember.
And you kind of already know the answer, but they have to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And he goes, I'm sorry to inform you he was involved in a single car accident at on Mississauga Road at Kingside Road in Caledon, and he's now deceased. And those are the words to this day. Just thinking about it on the way here, I hear those words sometimes, many times throughout the day. Sometimes I don't hear it for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Right. But it's that those words. He is now deceased. It's present in my life.
In your mind, in your life.
Right.
Yeah.
And Donna just started to scream.
Yeah.
Right. And it took me a few minutes to console her. When she got hold of herself, I said, I'll be back. I went into Akila's room, my daughter.
Your daughter, yeah.
Tapped her on the leg, and she looked up. I said, get dressed and come outside. She goes, why? What happened? I said, Jamal was involved in a car accident, and he passed away.
Yeah.
And she started to scream and scream and scream.
And how old was Jamal?
He was 26.
26 years
26
old.
at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, she took a few minutes to get a hold of herself. And I said, get dressed and come out. Mm-hmm. So I went back outside, and she came out, and the officers start asking questions about, does he have any tattoos? And I was kind of curious, but then I found out his body was at the scene still.
Oh no!
Right, and the coroner was on the way, and they had shut the road down.
And to give an idea of where you live and where the accident happened, that's a good maybe 30 minutes, 40-minute drive.
Yeah, almost 40
minute drive.
30 minutes. Yeah.
For them to get there and to know that he's still there.
Yeah, he was on the car. What happened was. Mm-hmm. He was coming home, and he likes the speed. He doesn't listen. These kids think they're invincible. And
for the audience that doesn't know, that road is very dark.
He drives it all the time. Yeah. But it's dark.
It's very dark. There's no lights.
No lights. It's anticipation of snow.
Yes.
So
it's slick.
Well, they don't put salt. They put sand.
Yeah.
So he went around the corner at a high rate of speed. Probably not expecting the sand to be there.
And the sand
started spinning and slammed into the only light pole that's in the vicinity. Right? Now, when we saw the car, the passenger door was inside the driver's compartment.
Oh my goodness!
Right? It was almost a horseshoe.
Like it wrapped around almost, yeah.
Right? And he was jettisoned out the back window.
Maybe I need a dictionary. What do you mean by that?
He was thrown out the back window,
Thrown out the
shot
back.
out the back
He
window.
was shot out the back
Out the
window.
back. Yeah, imagine, a Honda Accord and a 6'5"
Yeah.
young
And
man
the
getting.
force, I guess, because you would think for him to go back, or it depends on where they hit, but you're saying he maybe hit the pole from the side?
Hit the pole on the passenger side.
But
yeah.
it forced him through the back.
Forced him through the back. It was that the whole car was mangled.
Was he in? Did he have a seatbelt on?
Nope.
No seatbelt.
Nope.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, and I didn't know that until
time.
later, and then the officer at our home told me they brought Akila outside, and she had to identify where his tattoos were. So I guess they searched, and that was a positive identification.
Okay. And then going forward that day, after they positively identified that it was, or confirmed that it was Jamal, what was the moments after that initial shock when the police are gone, everything's confirmed, and now you have to sit with the reality that my son has passed away?
Donna and I, well, first of all, I had an empty feeling in my stomach.
Before you got the news?
No, after I got the news.
You got
it was
the
like
news.
somebody punched me in the gut. And
Yeah.
after they left and whatnot, you know what? It became my responsibility as a husband and father to look after my family.
Yeah.
Right? And I thought I did, but you know what? Sometimes I probably should have grieved instead of trying to be strong.
Yeah.
Right? Because it affects me up until today, and it affects me more so than Donna and Akila now.
Because they had the moment to grieve.
They came to grips with it
Much sooner. Yeah.
Right? So the first thing that came to mind was first of all, Donna said to me, nobody should outlive their children.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we talked about it for a little bit. Then I said, we got to start letting people know. And the first call I made was to my mother. And when I told her, she was on the phone screaming for about 10 minutes.
Wow.
And
Is that her first grandchild?
Yeah.
First grandchild.
Well, they can talk about
okay.
But yeah, and then I said, I got to go. I'll talk to you later because I have a lot of calls to make. Donna called her sisters. One, it was like on a three-way. One was one's in Montego Bay, lives in Montego Bay. The other one is in the Bronx, New York. And the one in the Bronx, it was her birthday. So she's probably thinking they're calling to wish me happy birthday. And you could hear the screams on the phone, right? And I said, okay. When she came off the phone, I called one of my good friends, Colette, because her son and Jamal started playing house league ball together and we've been friends ever since. And I told her, and then I called my cousin, Arthur.
Yeah.
All right. And told him. I called Elvis, another family
coworker.
friend.
Yeah.
Another coworker,
And
family friend. He was actually in Texas visiting his sister.
Yeah. So he was
and he had me on speakerphone, so everybody heard at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I let them know, and then about an hour later, the doorbell rang, and it was my friend Colette. Her and her husband came up. Right? She goes, this is height of COVID, and she goes, I know, I'm not staying long. I needed to see you guys and whatnot. And she left. Then Arthur came up about an hour later, and they were there at our house for about 10 hours.
Just making sure you guys were okay. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that gave them comfort as well.
Yeah, I would say so.
I guess just being around family and friends at that moment, that's when you really, really do need it.
Because we were there, the three families, Elvis's family, Arthur's family, and ours, we were there for the birth of all the children.
All the children, yeah. So to have one leave so suddenly and tragically, I'm sure it affected everybody.
Yes, it did.
But again, you being the patriarch of the family, you're trying to hold everyone together, and that didn't allow you to properly grieve.
No, I didn't grieve much at all.
Yeah.
Right? And I took it upon myself because Arthur, they were looking after Donna too.
Yeah.
So I went out into the living room and I started making calls
to everybody.
Right? And then I said, said to Donna, I'm gonna make a posting on Facebook.
Is that something you wanted to do? Did you feel you had to do it, or
Close people, yeah.
no? Meaning, you had your family members there,
I had
and
some
they
there,
could have
yeah.
done it for you
No,
to reach, or is that
no,
something
it's
you
my
wanted
responsibility.
you felt it was your
Yeah.
responsibility to
Don't-
call everybody?
The only person I asked to call some people was my mother, to call my uncles,
Yeah,
her brothers, and their families.
yeah. So after the initial shock
Hmm.
and receiving the news that day,
Hmm.
how did it feel now preparing for your son's services, seeing him for the first time?
First of all, I didn't get to see him for a week.
Why?
Right?
Oh, because he was.
The coroner had to
Yeah,
do their
autopsy.
autopsy and investigation, and the police had to do their reports. And the that night, the officer who was at the scene with
Yeah.
Jamal, he called me,
Yeah.
right, and asked me if I had any questions and whatnot.
About the scene.
Yeah, and I said the only thing I was looking for was, I'd like to get his cell phone. And he goes, I have his cell phone with me. And he goes, it was ringing off
Oh,
at the scene. And I found out later, like earlier that day, one of the calls I made was to one of Jamal's best friends, Ryan. And when I told Ryan, he just started bawling.
yeah.
And
They were probably just together, probably? Earlier
no,
that
they
night?
were supposed to get together.
They were supposed to get
Jamal, I
together.
think, was probably coming home to shower and
Go back
go
out.
and go
Yeah.
back, because I didn't know that Jamal's girlfriend was at Ryan's house. She was frantically looking for him,
Oh, okay.
and
So
she was the one who was her and Ryan were calling.
they were making the phone calls,
Yeah,
yeah.
to Jamal.
Because they were expecting him to come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right, and that was a tough call to make, and I didn't know the girlfriend was there,
Yeah.
right? And I guess that's how she got the news. She was out of it for a couple months.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, she was out of it, and but I'm always a firm believer in 1 Thessalonians 5:18. It says, "In all things give thanks,"
Yes.
not just when things are going good, but when they're going
Going
bad. And
as well, yeah.
I prayed about it, and I kept saying that verse over and over and over. What good can come out of this? And I found good that came out of it. With us, with his friends, talking to his friends. But now, as we move along in this interview, right? There's other things that transpired.
Like what?
With the direction I'm taking in life,
Okay.
right? But
You want to touch a little bit on that?
sure,
Well, before we lead into that,
yeah,
because I think we're, like you said, where all these things that's happened to you has kind of led you to where the next phase of your life and what you want to do.
yeah,
When we were talking about Jamal, and we said, your first born child or your mother's first grandchild, you paused for a second. And I know what you meant when you paused, because we had that conversation.
Yeah.
But I think it's also important to highlight, because that's another thing or another part of death that you've experienced in a
Yes.
different way that kind of shaped who you are now.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, I guess we can say, your original first child.
That child, I was with a different lady at the time, and that she was pregnant.
And how long ago was this?
I was 20.
20. So before you met your current wife and
I
got
had,
together.
yeah,
Yeah,
just before
just
I met
before.
her. And she was pregnant, and she had some issues, had to go to the hospital, and there was problems with the fetus, or I thought, I don't like calling it fetus, really, because when after they terminated the pregnancy, I asked to see the child, because I wasn't there when they terminated. I was on my way there.
Why did they terminate
Because the
pregnancy?
child, from the top of the chest down to the stomach, wasn't closed, and
Was it-
all the
okay,
intestines were out, and all the organs were
And
out.
how far along was she
5.5
in the pregnancy?
months.
So 5.5 months. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
usually
they-
when they can determine the sex
Yeah.
of the baby, and you could see the baby.
Yeah.
They just got to stay in there and cook a little bit longer.
Yeah, and when I got to the hospital, I said I want to see,
Yeah.
right? And after a while, they brought it to me like in an ice cream bucket,
Oh.
right?
Oh.
But I looked at the child and had little hairs, fingernails,
Yeah.
everything.
You were able to see everything.
Yeah.
And see your little girl. You were able to see as a girl.
Yeah.
And how did that affect you at such a young age, where you weren't prepared or expected to become a father so early, and then you said, okay,
Well,
this is what we're gonna do, and then it was kind of taken away
it
from
was
you.
taken away. But yeah, it was difficult.
Yeah.
It was difficult. But you know what? Like I said before, I compartmentalized
Yeah.
things, right? And I put it aside.
Yeah.
It wasn't until much later that it really came to light and started to bother me a little bit.
Was that once the birth of your children, or the passing of Jamal?
Passing of Jamal.
The passing of Jamal made you
Yeah.
remember
Not even the passing of Jamal. It was when I started going to grief counseling.
grief counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That started weighing heavily on me.
And what made you decide? I mean, I guess it would be obvious to go to grief counseling if you lose a child. Some people are still against it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I did
What
2
pushed you?
counselings.
Okay, there we go.
Right. I did the EAP again.
Employee assistance program.
Right, I did
when
that again.
The first time after witnessing
After witnessing the
the
young
accident
man, and then with Jamal.
with Jamal.
And and Donna did the same thing at Brampton Civic,
Okay.
right? And I think hers was better than mine.
In what
Her-
ways? Like if you could
They
compare
gave,
the two,
the
what
guy
did
I
you
spoke
feel?
to didn't really give me anything. I already knew what I needed to do because the first guy encouraged me to talk, to speak about it, tell your story.
Mm-hmm.
This guy just listened and didn't say anything, didn't give me any advice. Donna's counselor told her about, I was off for 2 months,
Yeah.
told her a week or so before you go back to work, go into your work, get
Yeah.
acclimated with the people around
Because
you,
they're going to bombard you.
They're
They're,
gonna- right.
going to want to give you a hug.
right?
Yeah.
And I said, that's a great idea. And said, you know what? I'll drop you off at work and I'll go into work. So I called Marissa,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Marissa is someone that's on the peer support team at the
Mr.
time.
No, I don't think she was.
She was? No.
I don't think so. Not
Either-
to my
okay.
knowledge. But Mr. Barrett.
Yes, I was just trying to give the
Yeah.
people listening who Marissa is, but she
But-
wasn't anybody at the time. She was just a really good friend,
She was on the
very
yeah.
friendly, very open person, easy to talk to.
She said, okay, well, I'll meet you at such and such a time.
Yeah.
And I remember I got there. I opened the door of the
Garage or
They-
where we
they-
entered the lunchroom.
to the lunchroom.
Yep.
And there was a driver walking out with his head down, so I held the door open for him. And he looked up and he saw me, and his mouth just dropped open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit!
Now I
here we
got a
go.
baby you.
Right?
Yeah.
And he couldn't get the words out. He's
Yeah.
like, I said, I know.
That's
Thank
kind of how
you."
I felt when I saw you at Jamal's funeral. I kind of stood at the door.
I know. I
And
told
I'm
you to
just
come
like,
in.
and I was like, do
Yeah.
I go? Do I not go? And even going up to your daughter Akila and your wife Donna, and I'm like, are they even going to remember me from the gym? Because we used to work out at the gym together.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand the pressure and how people may not want to deal with that, only because now it's become about me.
Yeah.
I'm nervous to go up to you and speak to you, make me feel better, and that's not really your job. So I think it was really good advice that your wife received. Go into work and see how you feel.
Yeah.
So that if you need more time off, you can take that time off. Or
Yeah.
you're not jumping straight into the job and
Yeah.
feeling all that heaviness at one time.
Yeah, and fortunately for me, at that time when I came in, there was nobody.
Nobody was there.
in the lounge.
Yeah.
Right, and Marissa came up. She gave me a hug, and
Yeah.
she goes, "Where do you want to go?" And I said, "No, I got to go up to the main office."
Yeah.
Went there first. Spoke to a couple of people. Then we went through the. I was working in maintenance at the time. 'Cause again, I'm a modified worker, and I went upstairs to the office, and I walked in. I tapped on, opened the door, walked in, and one of the ladies came up and ran up and hugged me. Right, and we talked. I spent a couple of minutes there. Then
Yeah.
I just did a walkthrough, right, and
Yeah.
came back. And I can see now I'm more aware. It's funny how aware you are of your surroundings and the people around you. And you can see people shying away.
Yes, because they don't know what to say.
They don't, yeah.
So
and
instead of just giving you a hug,
you don't have to say
anything, just give you a
right?
hug, they rather. And I get it. It's
I
it's
understand.
hard. Yeah, it's difficult.
There's one lady. She's a coordinator or supervisor or service delivery, whatever. And to this day, she barely talks to me. And her and I used to chat
Talk
all
afterwards,
the time.
yeah, because I guess they don't. I wonder if it's a reality for them.
I don't know.
And
I don't
so
know.
anyone that experienced something like that, and it's kind of close to them, they're afraid and they kind of just back away and rather not deal with it.
Yeah, it's probably a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Right. It was a eye-opening experience, and I came back to work a week later.
After that.
A week after that,
Mm-hmm.
and then while I was at work that morning, I got a call from from Jamal's basketball coach.
Yes.
Who started him on
His
on
journey.
his rep journey.
Yeah.
With Brampton, Big Mike,
Yeah.
and said that Richard, the assistant coach, passed away.
Oh,
Right?
you're like, not again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it was just unreal.
But all these experiences kind of made you realize, I guess, what your strengths are when you're dealing with your son's passing. I mean, that is hard for anybody, but how you took that role and said, okay, yes, I'm the father, yes, I'm the man of the house,
Yeah.
but how you kind of navigated that, and also what happened with the passenger that came off your bus that kind of led you to what you think your strong suit is in this world.
God doesn't give you more than you can handle.
Exactly.
Right. And looking back, everything I've gone through, all the different stages or experiences, for lack of a better word, I've been through, is setting me up, I think, for where
what
I'm
you were
going
destined
now.
to do. And what is that?
Going to grief counseling,
Mm-hmm.
right? I realized this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right. This is the 4th time I'm going through the program currently, and we go once a week, and it's like I'm a member of the family there now.
You're the expert.
Well, I wouldn't say expert, but it. I was meant to be there. Donna
Yeah.
and I were meant to be there, and Akila.
Yeah.
And it helped all three of us immensely. And with regards to me personally, and I can only talk from my experiences and my feelings, the last sessions that we went through, we met a couple who lost their son less than a year prior, and the gentleman couldn't even speak. As he sat down at the table, he grabbed a box of tissue, and the wife, she did most of the talking, and after about maybe 5-6 sessions, he turned to me and he goes, "Your son Jamal, he was a basketball player in Brampton." I said, "For a point, yeah." And he goes, "Somebody at my workplace, he and I were talking, and he mentioned him,
Yeah.
right?
Because
That
of
he
the
died
accident?
in
Yeah, and an
Cal,
accident,
somebody
yeah.
he knew, right?" And he goes, "Was there a write-up in the newspaper?" I said, "Yeah, I got interviewed by a reporter, and he said, yeah, they said he was a very, very good basketball player." So the connection is
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, he was more open.
More open.
Yeah.
Because there's someone that has experienced the same thing as him. I mean, everyone there is, you're at grief counseling, but then also someone that he can draw a little bit of a personal connection to through your son. And especially after losing his son, and you're a little bit farther along in that grief process.
Yeah.
It opened it up for him a little bit.
Well, again,
to maybe talk.
People don't understand when they hear the word grief. They think of weakness.
Yes.
And it's not a weakness.
No.
All right. Once you learn to overcome your grief, conquer, you never get rid of it.
No.
You just learn to live with the death a little bit better each and every day. It never goes away. But the grief, if you can get help for your grief, that's strength.
Yeah.
Right? You become stronger.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's important to deal with the grief.
Yes.
Because if that actually, I mean, oxymoron, but it actually makes you weaker if you don't,
Yeah.
right?
No,
it
it
can
does.
really affect you in all
Every
aspects of your
area.
life. Exactly. I
Right.
often talk about my aunt who didn't fully grieve properly when my uncle passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And that brought her to, in my opinion, where she is now. The early onset of dementia.
Yeah.
She's physically strong, but mentally she's not the same. And she's only 70 years old. My uncle died, I think about 10 years now.
Okay.
And she didn't get to, they were getting to their retirement age.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get to experience that retirement. They did experience a lot though, because they were avid travelers. They, they did all that. They made sure to do all those things and did everything right. But now when it was time to retire, the person she was been with for so long is no longer there.
Yeah.
And I know that affected her a lot, which unfortunately now affects the remainder of her life. Because that life that she built, she doesn't get to enjoy it. She's not getting to enjoy her grandchildren.
Yeah, the people around her.
The people around her. Yeah. It shifts what could have been.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be the grandmother, like how my mom is now. She's retired, and even though my daughter's 18, she's able to have fun. She flew my daughter out last week to come visit her in Jamaica. She's able to do those things. My aunt is not able to do those things with her grandchildren.
Yeah.
She didn't get to experience that because they were young when they passed. So I am a big advocate for normalizing the conversation about death and dying, talking about grief, talking
That's all
about
it is. It's a conversation.
You have to have the conversation.
It's a conversation,
right?
yeah.
And then it doesn't necessarily take away the pain, but it might make it a lot easier.
You live with it.
You have to live with
better.
it, but you live with it better because you have to live with it regardless.
Yes.
Right? So I want to ask you, we touched a little bit on your grief journey. What have some of the coping mechanisms you've used to get through? Outside of the grief counseling, what have you done for yourself to kind of get through the griefs, the different experiences that you've had?
As for coping, I don't cope with it very well because, like I said earlier, it still bothers me because of I didn't get my chance to release my grief, and like right now, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody.
In regards to
just in general,
around the time of Jamal's passing.
No, no.
Now.
Yeah, I don't want
But
to
you
talk to anybody.
me every day.
I talk to you every day.
I force you to talk to me.
But it's I don't want to go around people.
Yeah.
I go home.
So you were more sociable before, and now
I was. Yeah, I've totally changed. What you see, me at work.
Yeah.
It's a facade.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
So even when we sit and we have our conversations in the morning.
Yeah, I look forward to it, but you know what? I have to go from here to here to get that.
To get that, yeah.
Right? You see me joke around. You see me talk shit with people. I have to force myself to do that.
To do it.
I sit there. When you're gone, I sit there. I have my lunch.
Yeah.
Nobody's around me.
Yeah.
I am at total peace.
Yeah, total peace. And then I come and disturb your peace with my many questions. No, I'm joking.
No, but you know what? I would much rather sit there and not talk to anybody. And there's 2 times per year when I get very agitated. And it's like now or a week and change away from Jamal's anniversary. So in November, I get a little antsy.
Yeah.
And coming up to Jamal's birthday in April. I get, and I've fired off at people, right? When I tell you to stop, leave me alone, whatever, and you keep running your mouth, right? And I call you a fucking idiot, right, to your face.
Yeah.
Back off.
Back off and leave me alone.
And they have, right? But you know what? I tell you to do something, just shut up, right?
Do you want to continue like that though?
No. I'm working through it.
You're working through it,
right?
Yeah.
Within here and with what I'm going through. And this is why, like you had asked me earlier about where I'm going. I'm going to. I'm signing up for the Christian grief counseling.
Okay.
Right, and I got to stop using some of those words, but
what words?
The bad words.
The swear words. It just shows that you're human.
But I've already signed up for a life coach course, as well as NLP, which is neuro-linguistical programming.
Okay.
Because I think that once I do the grief counseling,
Yeah.
Christian grief counseling, I think those will tie in to help me personally, because it helps you first.
Yeah.
And then it will help me to help others properly.
And that's what we want.
Yeah, it'll give me
Yeah.
a broader perspective of the individual, because grief is not only death. People think of grief as somebody dying.
Somebody dying, yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
People no, people go through grief when they have a separation, go through divorce,
Major
when they
transition in
lose
their
their
life.
job.
Yeah. Major
Yeah,
transition
you
in
go
life.
through-
Something's
yeah.
changed completely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that until I started doing the grief
The
counseling.
grief counseling.
And they know what my goals are,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to bring the counseling up to our area in Shelburne.
Yeah.
And I spoke to a lady who's mentoring me in England, and I'm a couple of years away from retirement, and hopefully, and I said, yeah, I'm looking for a means to supplement my income as
Yeah.
well, and she goes, why don't you do both?
You could do both.
Right? And I said, I thought about it briefly,
Mm-hmm.
very, very briefly, and I put it off to the side. Right? She goes, no,
Start now.
do it both.
Start now.
Right? So yeah, and this is what I started doing. This is why when I signed up for all these programs, I have to get my coaching certification. And you don't need a certification to counsel anybody, really, off the record, off the
Yeah.
books. But
You
I
want
just
to make sure
wanted
you're
to get it.
informed as much as possible
Exactly.
and have all the
Yeah, so
I completely understand it.
I want to help many people as I can.
And I encourage you to do that.
Yes, you
Every
do.
day I speak to you at work,
You do.
I let you know that
Yeah.
I ask you to check out to see if work will cover the cost of the programs.
Yeah, which I haven't done.
I'm going to remind you again on Monday.
Yes, thank you.
But because I do encourage that. I
Yeah.
like what you're doing. Just like I like to bring people here to talk about these topics. The reason why I do it is because it's such a broad topic, and I want people to get different perspectives, different outlooks from different people.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully one of them will connect to them so that they can have the important conversations.
Yeah.
Right?
I believe it's the city of Brampton I would have to look at.
Probably the city of
Yeah.
Brampton. Probably the city of Brampton. But I do encourage you to keep doing it. I would love to talk more about it when you actually start,
Mm-hmm.
and you can.
I'm going to start.
Well,
From-
when you start and you actually finish the course and you've actually
Yeah, that
put
should be
together
about 2 months. It'd be
and
about
when you
2 months.
start your counseling and you
Yeah.
have your first sessions, I would love to have that conversation with you
Sure,
and see
no
how it's
problem.
going.
No problem.
One thing I want to touch on before we wrap up a little bit
Mm-hmm.
is because we were talking about your son Jamal.
Yeah.
How do you remember him on those two important dates that kind of alter your mood? What are you doing to put a positive, but there's no positive spin on it, but to
No. There is a positive.
positive,
There is a
you
positive.
know?
There's always in every negative situation. There's always a
Yeah.
positive, right? And the positive that came out of Jamal's passing, for me, is allowing me to speak to people,
Mm-hmm.
right? And especially people who have lost
children.
children,
Yeah.
right? And you have to listen to them first. You
Yeah.
encourage them to speak, because you don't know what they're going through. You've been through something similar,
Similar.
but you don't know what's in the back of their mind. So you have to find that common ground,
Yeah.
so to speak. Then you move on. But there's always positive.
And there's a quote that I always see online. Always see online. It's one of my shows that I used to watch. It was 6 Feet Under, and there was a scene, and they were talking about child death.
Mm-hmm.
And when you lose a partner, you're a widower or a widow. If you lose so and so, there's a title, but there's no title for a parent that has lost their child,
Yeah.
right? And I think you having that experience and you turn it into a positive.
Yeah. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Not easy.
But you're seeing that there was a need because
Yeah.
you went through it, and this is what I would have wanted from this.
Mm-hmm.
How can I now share my story and help other people through it?
About a week after Jamal died, I received a package, and it was from my mom's cousin in Atlanta, and she sent me a book titled "How to Cope with the Loss of a Child."
Yeah.
Right, and it's funny. I started reading that book. I read it about halfway through, and every single thing that I read, I experienced.
You experienced.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that kind of pointed me towards doing
this.
doing this.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going to go 100% into it. I'm starting to work out certain logistics.
Yeah.
Right. And we'll see where it
We'll
goes.
see where it goes. So on November 27th,
November 27th.
what are your plans?
My plans, and this is for the anniversary of his passing as
Yes.
well as his birthday. Don and I, we usually take the day off. We go and get 2 sets of flowers. We go to the
Cemetery?
we go to the cemetery,
The site. The
grave
accident
site,
Okay.
and maybe stay there maybe half an hour. Right. Sometimes Akila will come. Sometimes she just goes by herself because she may meet Jamal's friends there.
Yes.
Right.
And I remember you told me that they really, really surrounded her.
Yeah.
It's been about 5 years.
It'll be 4 years and
they really
next
surrounded her and kind of became the brothers that
big brothers
kind of not replaced but stepped in.
Yeah, when they sometimes when they go to clubs,
they bring her along.
Yeah, they bring her along. The same thing with the birthday.
Yeah.
The first anniversary of his passing. On his birthday, we went there and walked up to the gravesite, and there's a bottle of Appleton in the ground. So they opened it and put it in the ground, and a bottle of Dragon Stout, which is his
drink.
one of his preferred drinks, and it's upside down. So they gave him a drink, and a whole bunch of them came out, and Donna and I were the first to leave.
Yeah.
Then we drove up to the crash site.
Yeah.
We don't go to the crash site too often. Maybe once or twice a year we'll drive by it.
Yeah.
Right? We may stop, but on the anniversary on the birthday, we get out.
That's at least you guys have your routine, your traditions that you do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that will help you move along and not move along, but cope with the loss and make it a little bit.
See, when I spoke to the coroner, and this thing still bothers me to this day. I asked her, "Do you think Jamal died instantly?"
Yeah.
Right? And
can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Would you want
ahead.
her to be honest in that moment or lie to you in that
No,
moment?
be honest with me.
Okay.
Right? Do you think he died instantly? And she said, yes, she believes he did.
Okay.
Akila and I, we speak about it. And somehow in the back of my mind, I don't think he died instantly. Right? And my wish is that he did.
Yeah.
But I would hate to have, as a parent, have him there hanging off the back of his car, crying out for somebody to help him.
Yeah.
Because it was a lonely road.
It was a lonely road.
Right?
I'm from, I'm familiar with that road. And maybe one day my daughter will share, but it's going to be 2 years or a year that her friend passed away. Similar situation to your son in that same area.
Okay.
Right. I just want to bring it up because I know there might be people listening that are not familiar where we live and where we're from, but that road. And a lot of the roads between Shelburne, where you live, and the other city that he would have been coming from, if you take those back roads or even the main road, it's very dark. It's very dangerous to drive on that road.
1-lane road.
And sometimes us being so experienced in driving that road every day, we get comfortable and thinking we know everything.
Yeah.
And we forget to drive as if this is the first time on that road.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
speed kills.
Yeah. But I would like to hope that he did pass.
I would hope so.
And if medically he didn't pass yet, but he was maybe not, maybe passed out or something like that, I would hope for that. But you don't want to get too caught up in those thoughts because you'll never get the answers.
Well, you know what? Like we touched on it earlier. I didn't get to see him for about a week.
Yeah.
Right. And when we went to make the arrangements at the funeral home, I said, I'd like to see Jamal. Right. And Keela brought it. Keela and the funeral dude they started arguing.
Oh.
Right. And he said to her, "Do you know what it's like to be involved in a high impact collision?"
Yeah.
Like your brother was in. I'm like to myself, how the fuck is she supposed to know this? Right? I said, I want to see my son. All right,
Give me
and
that
it was
option.
final. And then he arranged it, and it was for the following Saturday. His funeral was 2 weeks
2 weeks afterwards,
after. So it was the following Saturday, and we went in. Donna couldn't come out of the car,
yeah.
right? And Keela and I went in. He took us into this room, and he was on this slab table, right, covered up with a white sheet,
Yeah.
right? And I pulled the sheet down from his neck down to his
head down to his neck.
to his waist,
To his waist, okay.
right? And he had, just like in the TV shows, he had that Y
Yeah, because they
cut
did the autopsy.
right? And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, this is not my son.
Yeah.
I know it is, because
Yeah.
I know his body, right? But I'm saying because his face structure was different because he had multiple fractures throughout his body, but multiple fractures in his face, and it. And I said to the guy, "Are we going to have like an open casket?" And he said, "Yeah." Right? I said, "Okay." And is there going to be a photograph? Because it's if you look at the photograph and look at him,
It's not the same.
no.
Yeah. So you're basically
Right.
trying to say, can you make
Well, I don't think they could have because it was
it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Right. And they did the best they could. Right. And, again, I have to, like I said, in all things give thanks. I appreciate what they did. Right.
Do you think seeing Jamal, was that a good thing?
I needed to see him.
You need to see him.
Yeah.
And that helps give you a little bit of closure.
Because I wanted to see him from the day it
Happened.
Right. I don't know if it gave me closure, but it gave me a little bit of relief. Right.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, the same with Akila. Now, Donna hadn't seen him. And that night of the viewing,
Yeah.
Donna and I got there first. Right. And I was kind of weary of her because she hadn't seen him. And when we opened the doors were closed in the room.
Yeah.
We opened the doors and went in. And as she looked up towards the casket from the back of the room, she started bawling.
Yeah.
Right? That's, again, this is her baby. She hadn't seen him in 2 weeks.
Couple weeks now, yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine that must have been very tough for her.
Yeah. One thing I would like to say is there are some people who were very, very good to us from work. They came to visit us on the Tuesday after the accident, and it was Marissa Barrett, Hugh Grant, Andrew Salaby, and Everton Pennant and his wife.
Yes.
They came to visit us, and they came and just hung out. Nothing, just hung.
Yeah.
Right. So it was good. And our house was so busy for that 2 weeks. Right. You
had your family
we had
surround
support.
you.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Yes.
So before we wrap up, the last thing I want to ask you, just quickly, is there anything you want to leave the audience? Any type of, not information, but anything you want to leave the audience regarding the conversations about death?
It's important to speak to somebody.
Yeah. Right?
Tell them your feelings. Talk about your feelings. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yes.
Right. It's a release. It's like a pressure cooker. You pull a little cap and it just releases. Right. And it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I'm still working through mine.
Yeah.
Right. But I think from the experiences that I've had throughout the years, it doesn't make me an expert.
No.
But I can just talk about my.
But that's what makes you an expert, is because you actually experience it. You didn't just go to school and study what this may be or may not be. I mean, that's an addition. But you've actually experienced it, so now you can apply what you've actually experienced to what you are learning and be able to serve people a lot better.
That's key there. I can serve.
You can serve.
Right? And as I progress through this next phase of my life, I think I will get more experienced, obviously.
Right? No, we don't want too many more experiences.
No. When I say experience, I mean speaking with people.
Yeah.
Right? As a coach.
Yeah.
Right? And that's my goal, just to coach people.
Well, I'm always going to encourage you to do it. Like I speak to you every day.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you so much for coming out and speaking with me today, Peter.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you, and thank you.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much.